Give all honor and praise to the Most High. Alright, so Spirit, what is the collective to know? Hi Tina. Hi Daniel. Spirit is saying, don't let the unhappiness of others get you down. Because people who are unhappy are gossipers. They love putting people down to try to make themselves feel better. These people are doing these things because they can't get past their trauma, stuck in the past. Yeah, they haven't been able to really overcome failure. These people feel like a failure, like I've achieved this status, but still feel like a failure. This could be you, this could be someone else. A lot of heaviness, a lot of just being burdened and struggling. And Spirit said these people who have tried to just gossip about you, I'm hearing assassinate your character. They're extremely burdened, very anxious, undysregulated nervous system. And, like I said, it's mainly because these people can't get past their past issues. They can't get past. The energy is someone who ruminates on things that happen to them, conversations, offenses is what I'm hearing. And first of all, people who are in that energy are misinterpreting conversations all the time. They'll listen, it'll be two people listening to the same conversation, looking at the same situation, and the one person with the flawed thinking is going to interpret the situation in a completely different way, and is going to then translate that to other people, and it ends up being gossip because it's all bullshit. And so what people don't understand is that when you speak ill upon a divine being, that's something way different, because divine beings, divine high-ranking beings are very pure of heart. Maybe you were off the chain when you were younger, but at this time, in this lifetime, divine beings are definitely pure-hearted. That doesn't mean that you're perfect. It just means that you have pure intentions for others. So you may say something to someone and this person has flawed thinking and they misinterpret what you said. You actually gave them a compliment, but they interpret it as a like you trying to shade them or play their face. And then this person goes and ruminates and ruminates and ruminates on their version of the story. And so the anger and the jealousy and the envy and the hatred and all that stuff just keeps building up in that person against you or whoever I'm talking to. Readings, if it resonates, it should only be confirmation of what you already know. Sometimes you will come across readers who will reveal things to you, maybe about your gifting or something like that you haven't necessarily heard before, so you can't say that it's confirmation. But when it comes to these collective messages, it should just be confirmation of what you already know based on your intuition. It's always great to have actual evidence and your intuition, but Spirit is saying you can definitely trust your intuition. Yeah, Spirit said these people trying to juggle resources on top of everything else, on top of being stressed out, feeling stuck, not moving forward, not progressing. And it's all because they won't ask for help. And honestly, when people have like a personality disorder, you can't even reason with them. They can go to therapy and talk about their issues, but the problem with that is they're telling the therapist their version. So the therapist is going to like help them work through and talk through the issue based on their version. Virgin might be significant, but based on their version. And so it's a moot point at that time, because if you're going into a situation where you are seeking help and you're continuing to lie to yourself and other people, knowing that you did something trifling, or someone did something, I'm talking about the person that did something trifling to you. But that, first of all, the divine does not support that. They literally are helping people who are actually helping themselves. And Spirit is saying a lot of these people are hitting brick walls left and right, and they're still in La La Land. And like when you experience hitting a brick wall, or like challenge after challenge after challenge, you better know that it's every opportunity to level up, to close a cycle, to pass the test. So, if Spirit keeps giving you, situation after situation to say to yourself, I need to get right, I need to get my mind right, I need to get clarity, I need to start really thinking about where I need to go from here, there's always opportunity to start fresh. And Spirit is like, your spirit guys, your spirit team, they are always on deck, always ready and willing to assist. But please believe me that if you are doing anything out here to harm others, whether it be through spell work or otherwise, I'm hearing money crimes. You need to cease and desist immediately. Because what's going to happen is walking karma is going to meet you. And if you playing with people's money, they are going to invest with you. Why? Because the divine orchestrated it. Because when a divine being experiences an offense, it's way different. So if you are up to no good, and a divine being just happens to come along and be victimized by you, honestly, when it gets to that point, I feel like Spirit is like, this is the final call. I'm hearing for alcohol. Can I say that on TikTok? This is for entertainment purposes only. I was just trying to rhyme. Hey, Eternal Life. Hey, Tom. So, yeah, like, I'm good. How are you? Oops. Yeah, Spirit said these people are beginning to feel lack of happiness, lack of fulfillment. I'm hearing just life turned upside down, cup completely empty, cup empty of the overflow of abundance, of love, of money, of joy and bliss, that's a bad place to be. Because, like I said, essentially what that means is that that person is locked up in their head. And when you're locked up in your head, Spirit is saying, you better do all that you can do. Just like folks that be in jail awaiting their trial, and they in there trying to do any and everything. If the jail got programs or something like that, they in there trying to make it pop for the judge. And so if they're locked up in their head, Spirit said, if they're locked up in their head and they don't get it together before they see the judge, it's off to prison. Oh my God. And look, I don't wish spiritual prison on nobody. But Spirit said, we got some fast incoming communication for you. Let's get some clarification on that. Oh Lord, here we go with the stolen inheritance involving a house. Yeah, Spirit said straight trap. They trapped in their head. This couple hit a home. So I don't know who that's for, but one of y'all got a home that's hidden. And this is either your parents, a parent and step parent, or something like that. These are parental figures. I'm hearing foster parents. Yeah. And when we talk about this right here, I don't know if I can say that, but when we start talking about this, we are not even talking about physical. We are talking about mental distress, burdening. When you hide the inheritance of someone that could have changed their whole life financially, she said, I can't wait to see what you do. Yeah, it was a cover-up. Man, stop. I'm hearing their ship is about to sink. Oh my God. Yeah, somebody is going to transition. I feel like this person transitioning is going to bring all of the truth out. All of it. Yes, congratulations to whoever finds out they have a home, honey. when you got family that is jealous of what you have because they don't feel like you should have it, she's saying this song is called Gone Baby. So I really feel like this is an inheritance, like something that someone was left as a child. And this couple had basically control of the trust, I'm hearing. And so it's even more than a house. You were supposed to get a whole ass trust when you turned 18. When I tell you this trust would have paid for college or your master's or your PhD or medical school or law school, whatever school you went to, this money would have paid all that in cash. Not only would you have graduated from college, set up with a free and clear house, but you would have had a nest egg that would have allowed you to do whatever it is you want to do in life. And Spirit is saying these folks straight lived off of your money and still are. And even though they've been living off of this money for decades, there is still a shit ton of money. Bruh. She said, love ain't unconditional. What'd I just say? I said there is a shit ton of money in this trust. Yeah. They definitely tried to unalive you so that they could make sure you didn't get access to your trust. I'm going to keep calling it a trust because the energy that is giving is that it has a house in it. It has money in it. It has land with oil in it. It has like open, fertile land, like farmland. When I tell you Spirit is saying just off of leasing your land or allowing oil companies to drill on your land, just that alone is an unlimited stream of income. One of the unlimited streams of income that you have coming. Because please believe me when I tell you that when Spirit comes out with this kind of information and tells you about it, you can bet your bottom dollar that you are going to see justice behind it. Full justice, full karmic justice, full recompense for everything that was stolen, because this is how stupid people are. So at some point, they could have changed their mind and said, you know what? We've held on to this long enough. We're not going to withhold it from this person anymore or from you. And they had opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to give it to you. And you not think anything of it because you don't know how old it is. I mean, it probably is written in some paperwork. But they probably could have given it to you later in life with, without certain paperwork. So you would never know. You would just be thankful. But these people decided with full-blown intention that you did not deserve that trust. And Spirit said, oh, no, the fuck you won't. You have absolutely no right to determine what our chosen deserves. Because all of that was orchestrated because they knew that your life was going to be so fucked up and tumultuous because of all of the karmic cycles that you're clearing for other people. So they were like, at least if she has to go through that, we're going to set her up so that she can cry in the back of a damn Rolls Royce instead of in a damn Pinto. Homeless is what I'm hearing. When I tell you that Spirit is beyond angry, and I say that with all faith and trust, that this is one of the world's biggest offenses. Real talk, I really feel like this is going to hit the news. Spirit is saying, go on and start writing your victim statement, because you are going to slay and lay everybody out in that courtroom. Spirit said, when you get finished speaking, there will not be a dry eye in the room, including the judge, including his clerk, including the court reporter, including all the attorneys. Whoo, Spirit, when I tell you this energy is so heavy, Spirit is angry. The word angry can't even appropriately capture the level of anger. And it's like the anger and the rage of all of the ancestors of the ages. Y'all, when I say, Lord, I need a minute. Y'all, somebody just send me $50 on Cash App. That is the type of stuff that y'all need to really embody and believe with all faith and trust in the divine, that when you operate in your purpose, money is just gonna come to you like that. The note on the Cash App said, this is my son's cousin on his dad's side. The note on the Cash App of $50 said, I saw you doing a reading. I'm proud of you. I definitely need a minute. But Spirit is saying That is the type of shit you need to expect. That is called living in your purpose and spirit saying, we're going to pay you just to exist. The first song that came on is Money Don't Stop Coming In Over Here. When I tell you that $50 may not be much to somebody, but everything ain't peachy keen over here. It ain't. But I am grateful every day. If I can make that rent, if I can make those bills, it doesn't have to be a certain way right this minute. I am waiting and expecting and in anticipation of my abundance falling. He said, let the abundance fall, open up. And that's what I was saying the other day in a video. I don't care how many people in my life. I don't care how many likes and views I get. I don't care about any of that right this moment. Because when I'm operating in my purpose, I'm doing what I came here to do. And I'm getting on this TikTok daily. I'm disciplining myself to go live. I'm disciplining myself to do collectives. If anybody, Tom has been here the longest probably, that's in here right now. And I was saying a couple months ago, I was like, y'all, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do these collective messages because people just talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. And look at me now. Running my damn mouth. He said, get straight to the cash. Looking good in all this fashion. I mean, I've been saying that you're going to be contacted by major clothing labels. Could you please, could we send you a box and you, post up on Instagram or do some content with it on or do a live with it on, or when you're on vacation, please wear it and tag us. And then like Spirit is showing me that, let's just say Chanel. Now, the other thing is we're not about what we're not about to do. I can't even talk. What we're not about to do is partner with companies who have been historically racist or discriminatory in any kind of way to your people. So I don't care. I'm not saying just your people either. I'm talking about humanity. But just for the sake of conversation, let's just say it's Chanel. They approach you and they say, could we please send you a box of stuff? And you say, sure. As long as there's no charge, as long as I'm not bound to a contract for a certain amount of posts and stuff. Like, you're not even going to have to do all of that. People just going to beg you to put up a picture and pray that you do it. Because you're going to be an influencer on a completely different level. Like I said, people going to be reaching out to you. Can we send you a free box, please? When I tell you Spirit is showing me truckloads driving up to your circular driveway on your private property and your mansion, truckloads of free items. We're talking about you're going to be able to donate tons of items to people who are getting back on their feet, to victims of DV, to people who were homeless and got locked up, and you're going to rescue them from homelessness and totally change their entire existence. The beach is significant. I feel like I'm talking to someone who used to do rituals at the beach. And when I say rituals, I don't mean spell work on people. I mean rituals like pouring libations for your ancestors, praying to your spirit guides at the water, saying to them, I'm ready to step into my purpose. I'm ready to step into my power. I'm ready for my gifts. I'm hearing talking directly to Oshun. Baby, when you're able to talk directly to Oshun, honey, I don't know what kind of energy you have, whoever I'm talking to. Oshun doesn't always talk directly to people or energies. But when and see, this is the thing. There's a difference. So the example or the imagery that they're giving me is like a major public figure who does like conferences and things like that. There's that type of interaction with that person where you're in proximity and you can hear them talk because you're in the audience, but you never get close to them. You don't ever have a conversation with them. But we're talking about being able to commune with Oshun in her what's the word that I'm trying to find? In her dressing room. So like you are a handful of people that are allowed to actually go. I'm hearing the secret place and actually commune with Oshun. She said, you got to have a mind state like I'm so great and can't nobody do it like you do it. Miraculous, phenomenal. And ain't nobody in here stopping you. Well, yeah, I mean, the couple is the main culprit, but it was a whole family that totally perverted your trust. The whole family. I feel like the victim is a female, perhaps. Spirit said, this is just spirit trying to ease you into this information slowly. But spirit is saying we're also trying to prepare you for the fact that when you hear all of the details of what this family did to try to keep this trust hidden, it is going to require extreme healing on your part. Get ready. Because if you're not in the energy where you are prepared to hear blow by blow exactly what these people have tried to do to you over the years, Spirit is like, it is going to take you to your knees. It is that shocking. And that's why I said I feel like it's really gonna hit the news like Fed type situation. This is for entertainment purposes only. But we're talking about like a long standing investigation. When I'm disappointed in how the feds handled Diddy's case, but maybe that's all they could do, and it was just about doing as much as they did. I'm gonna leave it at that. But when the feds build a case, they could take decades to build that case on you in order to take an enterprise down, is what I'm hearing. Because we're not just talking about one or two people or the couple, we're talking about a whole enterprise. When I say enterprise, I'm talking about this family had ties to the elites. And I'm just a messenger. This is what I'm hearing. This family had ties to the elites. And so when you talk about money laundering, I'm hearing money laundering through organizations, charities. I'm hearing religious organizations like churches, just a complete enterprise. And now when you find out how long this investigation was ongoing, you are going to be highly pissed. You're going to be extremely pissed about how long it took them to get you your coin. But when you actually get the end result, you are going to be extremely thankful and grateful that they took their time and ran it like a marathon and not a sprint. Because sprint level information, because what happens is when people have connections to the elites, they also get the protection of the elites. So I'm not talking about any of the stuff that's in the news right now, TikTok. So, this is for entertainment purposes only. But because there were so many intricate details that have to be worked out and worked through, and like I said, when you have an enterprise of people and you have like 20, 30 different businesses that you're laundering money through and doing all kinds of stuff, they have to go through and they have to investigate each individual company. They have to investigate it individually. They have to link all of them together. And then they have to show how it all came together. When I tell you Rico, yo, this got me a little shook. I'm not gonna hold y'all. I'm not gonna hold y'all. Yeah. Oh, it's been a secret. But the secrets are being revealed right here, right now. Because even if you're not here to, Lord, I lost my train of thought. But anyway, Spirit said, yeah, they cleaning it all up. They said, we are assisting the feds in their efforts. Spirit is saying, please believe that these people use psychics and mediums. And when I tell you the psychic mediums that they use are the best of the absolute best. I'm hearing these bitches be just in seclusion and hiding. They don't need for nothing. They just on some spiritual shit where they just go and get tucked into the damn woods somewhere in the Everglades in a damn cabin or something and just go to work. And when I tell you, Spirit said, all secrets have been revealed. Because when you have an enterprise that is this intricate, there's no way for just a human being. I don't care if you try to use a robot, AI, or whatever. There's no way for simply human beings and vessels to be able to work through a case like this from just their humanness. They need guidance. Look here, this person, this name, this address. It's like having a straight snitch in your pocket. Because Spirit is only going to reveal certain things to certain people at certain times. Yeah, Spirit is saying that they wanted revenge because they felt like, how dare our relative leave all of this to that person? Oh, we gonna fix this situation real quick. Because let me tell you, when stuff transpires for people, when they're children, when they're not aware of what's going on, it can easily happen like this. Easily. I'm hearing folks faked your unaliving, like a false death certificate. I don't even know how that happens because, with people working and their social security number and all that stuff, like, I feel like Spirit is saying that they altered the social security number, or like maybe you were someone who didn't get a social security number at birth and you didn't get one until way later in life. So when you basically have not gotten a social security number, like until you're a teenager, when you have to start working and get a work permit or license or whatever. It is possible now, because that happened to me, y'all. I'm not gonna lie to you. My social security number is from North Carolina, but I was born in New York in 1978. And so, for whatever reason, I don't know how that happens. My mother I think back then, it was up to the parent to apply for it or something. And maybe she was just like, well, she's not working, so what do I need that for? Apparently, nobody ever needed that for doctor's appointments and whatever back then. However that works, I didn't have a social security number until I was over 14. And so uh people were clowning me like, you don't have a social security number, you don't even exist. Like, I really remember a child saying that to me. Like, ew, you don't even exist. But little do they know what really is the backstory of social security numbers and birth certificates and all that stuff. I'm not going to go there on this live. I'm also not knowledgeable enough to really go there. Okay, Tom. Look, the clean card, that's for you. Clean it up. But the spirit is saying we are taking the trash out. We are mopping the floor. We are cleaning up everything. And spirit said, and they were not successful at cleaning up the evidence. That's what spirit said. The spirit said they are about to catch it because they were real sloppy. And one of my spirit guys says, sloppy toppy. I am so mad right now. I'm trying to be serious. I just snorted on live, pardon me. But yeah, so like spirit said we cleaning it up, don't worry. And they said, and we just want it on the record that we don't normally work with the feds now. Oh, my spirit guys are so good. They talking about giving them bad information to throw them off sometimes. Oh my God. But yeah. But look, spirit will work with the feds on your behalf. Okay? What I say? Spirit said, we doing the laundry. She said, we not the same, you my opposite. Dirty money. Spirit said, folk be trying to be nosy, trying to watch you, you know, if you're a spiritualist, they trying to watch you to see if you know something, how much you know, how accurate your readings are, even though folks won't tell you to your face. They won't tell you to your face and won't support you in any way. But Spirit said, never fear, we have a soul tribe, which is near. Spirit said, you are going to be completely fulfilled in every area of your life. And Spirit is saying for somebody, you never had a best friend. Because everybody will hate on you just for being you, just for being beautiful, for being intelligent, for being intriguing and mystical and magical, even when you didn't know it. And so, Spirit is like, you are going to have a best friend who is going to be with you till the end. It doesn't matter how old you are. You can have a friend for 10, 20 years, even in your 40s. Spirit said these ancient beings, they not going anywhere anytime soon. They are going to live long life. Okay. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, I was talking about these frenemies. These frenemies, you are actually going to be so richly rewarded. So richly rewarded for all of the times that people hurt you, played your face, downplayed you, clowned you, made you want to shrink yourself, made you want to dim your light. I'm hearing that when you were a child, somebody ridiculed you for making something that said, I love me. You loved yourself even as a child. Because in the depths of your soul, you knew that you were a special being. You knew that you had a higher calling. But somebody had the nerve to tell you that you were conceited and full of yourself, and that you should be ashamed of saying or writing or creating something that says, I love me. This is a wicked world. Because when kids do that, like I could see, I mean, we're in a world now where we use affirmations all the time and people like, yeah, whatever, But even though affirmations are extremely important, and spoken out loud makes it even more important. But my contact, sorry. And now I lost my train of thought because I was messing with my contact. But essentially, I was just talking about these people who were, like as a young child, so negative. And it comes from their family, their parents, the stuff that they heard at home, the stuff that their mother or father would say over the telephone or when company was over or whatever. That level of like adult self-hatred to come out of a child's mouth, they're definitely around people that are just not good for them at all. Okay, what's your good news? Okay, I can't. Can you send me a link or something? But I'm on YouTube and Instagram as well. She said, bitches hated my guts. Now they swear we was cool. Get money, go hard. Never been a fraud in my MF in life. Is that is are you about I Isla? I thought you were coming in here to say that you had some news from a reading I did. Damn shame. I'm not following nobody who I didn't give a reading to, so I don't know what you talk about, ma'am. But anyway, before I was rudely interrupted, now Spirit has been saying for the last couple readings that y'all about to be cuffed up and knocked up. Cause you know when it gets to be the winter months, folks be hibernating and they just be at home, you know. All right now. Hey friend. All right now. And look what came out. My boo. Here we go again, friend. Over here. Oh, you folding clothes? Honey, look at this. Will somebody come look at this? Spirit keep trying to tell somebody you about to be knocked up if you're not already. And that was a confirmation burp. Yeah, Spirit said, and you gonna be married, straight honeymooning. Y'all better hurry up and have your honeymoon before you get too big, okay? And before the doctors say you can't travel. Yeah, what I was talking about earlier. Court paperwork filed. I'm here as signed, sealed, and delivered. Okay. And Spirit said, oh, they gonna supersize you, all right. When that trust gets transferred to you, your life is going to be supersized overnight. Overnight. Yeah, Spirit is saying, oh, they gonna try to come and apologize. They gonna try to have a heart-to-heart. Somebody is gonna be on their deathbed, talk about, please forgive me. And Spirit said, get lost. Because the thing is that it's real easy. I'm not gonna say it's real easy, but it's way easier to apologize when you've gotten caught. Cause you weren't sorry when you've been what's the word that I want to use? I'm gonna say living that I'm hearing caking off of my money. I don't know what that means. I've never really heard that term in that context. But I'm imagining like building a cake. So, you know, like over the years, the more and more money they made by not giving you your trust, it was like just building a cake, building layers of a cake. And yeah, nah, like it's too late for the heart-to-hearts now. It's too late for you to ask for forgiveness for some shit that should have never happened. Number one. But number two, it just like it's convenient now. Nah. And Spirit is saying that stay strong, stand on your square when it comes to these people, because they will try to cry and emotionally manipulate and all that stuff. I'm not saying, Spirit is not saying to not forgive these people, but you don't owe them a conversation, because the thing is that what it really was that they knew that you would end up being wealthier than them. And so, in order to make sure that that never happened, that's what they did. Yeah, Spirit said, bye, Felicia. Get lost. We don't want no hugs. We don't want no tears. What we are going to do is we going to be in Tahiti on the first class seat smoking. Yes. Yes, we will. And when I tell you, oh boy, this is for entertainment purposes only. But because elite people were involved, y'all, what do elite people have a lot of? Elite people have a lot of property. When I say real estate, we are talking about the federal seizure of all of these people. We're talking about possibly tens of thousands of people who were involved in some shape, form, or fashion. And to think about seizing all of their assets and property, we talking about their offshore accounts and all that stuff has already been assessed, recorded, and cannot be hidden. I'm just a messenger, and this is for entertainment purposes only. But when I tell you, that's why I'm saying that you will be very happy when you find out how long it took to investigate all of this stuff. Because the longer, the more companies that got involved, the more people that got involved, the longer it took to investigate, the more damage that they did. And I'm hearing that the amount of damage done by each individual far exceeds all of their assets. So when I talk about the seizure of all assets, we're talking about luxurious properties in the US and abroad. Now, I'm not sure how that works exactly, but I'm hearing in the US and abroad. That's what I heard. So, look, okay, let me get the Kipper. Let me figure this out. Hold on now. Whew. My God, my God. When I tell you, like, we're talking about pure devastation of generations. When you fall that far from grace in one lifetime, it will take, Spirit is saying, it would take eons of your most top performing um bloodline to be able to recoup, let alone build again. So Spirit is like, it's gonna take so long for their bloodline to unravel the amount of karma, and it's all surrounding money and greed. And that's what's going to be affected the most in these people's lives. Like we're talking about generations of just people that incarnate and are homeless. And and I'm not saying that a homeless person is suffering karma. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. So I'm not making it like a blanket statement. I'm just using that level. And I mean, granted, there's some people that genuinely just like being homeless and free and don't have to be tied down anywhere. And especially there's a lot of people in LA that they're like, I'm collecting my retirement check and I can live in a tent and not have to pay rent out here and chill and cook crab legs and make a crab boil in the back of the tent. I mean, there's people that really are cool with that, but for the people who aren't, like between that and lock up and all that other stuff, yeah, Spirit said they getting real concerned. Because I'm hearing that they're getting inklings that people are closing in on them, but they're not totally sure yet. Spirit said, yep. All of those companies. And we're talking about real functioning companies with employees too. Like when I tell you the employees of these companies are going to be able to sue these people. But trust and believe, by the time they do that, you gonna be off. You gonna be running off on the plug. And I'm not even sure if that's appropriate in this context. But Spirit's like, all of everything is already going to be yours. So whatever the employees get from suing, it might be, I just got a judgment against you, so if you hit the lottery, I'll get my money type situation by that time. Because Spirit said, you taking it all. Because why? Because you are of high honor. The spirit realm adores you, is what I'm hearing. The spirit realm revels at what an amazing person, human, you have developed into. Spirit is saying they are so proud of how you share your wisdom, you care about people, you want people to heal, you want people to level up. Spirit said, yeah, you're an anchor. You're anchoring the planet, because I was saying the other night that the planet, every time the collective like star beings awaken, the light, the heaviness comes off of the earth and it is able to elevate. But in order to keep everything balanced, you have to have anchors as well. Because you see this is straight up floating in the sky. And when that vibration and that frequency is increased, the planet has to have anchors. As Spirit is saying, so it will not fly away. Hey, Lotus. Hey. Well, so the main female and the female card is out here. So I definitely feel like the victim is a feminine energy. We have thief. We have marriage. So this is like twofold. This is again confirming that it's a couple that are thieves. But it's also further confirming and we have two mature men out here. So that's why I said parental figures, people who are old enough to be your parents. And Spirit said, you about to have a wealthy man. You about to be married to a wealthy man or woman. Some of y'all about to be knocked up. You're going to have a beautiful wedding and honeymoon. I'm hearing the wedding that you always wanted. I'm hearing a star-studded wedding, okay? Because I know I got a whole lineup of celebrities who I want to sing in my wedding. Definitely Tidra Moses. Definitely Jill Scott. Definitely Lettucey. I think I want her as well. So, yeah. And we got to get some men in there. I think Tyrese might have been in lockup recently, if that's an accurate account of the situation. I would like Tyrese, but he's got some things going on. You said and is and claiming it big time. Except for the baby part. He said, I was just getting ready to say, let us see. That's my girl. For real. Oh, he went to jail for his dogs. Okay, yes. I was thinking Tank. I couldn't formulate his name, but I was thinking Tank. I kind of want some old school people too. I'm not sure yet, but I kind of want some old school people. Yep, courtship. This is the relationship that you have always wanted. Spirit is saying people have played with you. They have promised you dates and never followed through. They talked a good game and acted like they really wanted something serious and then just, disappeared. But no, this relationship right here, this one right here, this the one. While these folks are in bad health, when I tell you the amount of serious illnesses that are going to result from the outcome of this case, Cause people like they gonna be stretched out to know that all of the business is out there. I'm hearing wiretaps. And this is for entertainment purposes only. But I'm hearing that like people befriended your family and pretended to be a business person and came with a lot of money, um, and got on the inside. So they are wiretaps and everything. And like these wild stories like this, I don't really like these because I feel like I'm making it up. But at the same time, I know my intuition be on point and I know that I'm reading the energy. So this is going to be for somebody. Whether you watching it now, I'm about to say reading it. Whether you watching it now or later or 10 years from now or whatever, this is for somebody. Okay. Take that guy here, and if Gerald was here, he would make the list. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Spirit says straight despair, bad health, and in despair. Oh, I don't wish that on nobody. And Spirit said, while you over here with this great fortune, sugar plum, they over here jacked all the way up. Because when I tell you that very, very wealthy people and people that are used to doing dirt and not getting caught and used to, I'm hearing manipulating the system, because there are gray areas, there are loopholes and things like that. But there are also instances where you have to really manipulate systems, plural, in order to pull off such an enterprise. And so, yeah, it's not going to be good. It's not going to end well. That's wild. I really hope that I find out who this is, because that's wild. And for this one, I need hardcore evidence that this is you. Because this is way too much for me to just take your word for it. Like, I need to see a news article or something. Because I'm seriously going to be tripping. And when they say videos are timeless, they are really timeless. Because I'm telling you that I read future energy. And I read so far in the future, it'll be 5 years. And then people be like, yo, she said that. She was saying that. And that's what happens when people think that you're going through a psychosis when you're going through an awakening. Everybody doesn't experience it, but when you have really big energy, when you're reading a lot of energy, when you're able to access the highest levels of consciousness, so basically how Spirit is showing me right now, it's like there you have the timeline at the bottom. And like when you're standing on the timeline, you can only see your surroundings and as far as you can see with your human eyes. But then when you elevate above the timeline, you can see a little bit further and you can see a little more of the land. And then when you elevate again, you see even more of the land. You see even more of the road ahead. You might even be able to see a street, road sign. So the higher and higher you go, the farther you can read in the future. Whew. That higher perspective is something else. I'm just gonna tell you. And I'm just gonna say this. When you embody that type of energy, when you have that much power, when the divine, I'm not even, you know what? I'm not even going to use the term like the divine has bestowed power on you, because that gives the connotation that this wasn't always your energy. This wasn't always your power. It's always been your power. You have always been a high-ranking spiritual being in the spirit realm. Like you may, as a human vessel, you start to uncover that information and start to actually embody it and walk in it and use your gifts. But it's always been the same. So, I mean, if you want to look at it like the divine bestowed it upon you before you incarnated, okay. But when you have that type of ranking, it comes with a tremendous amount of responsibility, because you have a lot of destructive power. When you have a lot of light and light power, you also equally have a tremendous amount of destructive power. And if you are in with like dark witch or warlock energy, that would be world. Look, I can't even talk. I'm stuttering. That would be world destruction, I'm hearing. So you have not only do you have a high calling, but you have a high level of responsibility to make sure that you're keeping your emotions in check, that you're keeping your mental health in check, that you're keeping your nervous system in check, that you're constantly alchemizing and balancing your energies, your masculine and feminine energies. And I'm not saying these are things that you do unconsciously, just going through life. So I'm not saying that you have to drink a certain tea or create a certain concoction or anything like that. And I'm not knocking anybody that does that, because Lotus is an amazing herbalist. And so like she's got supernatural gifts when it comes to blending shit. Okay. So, yeah. You're welcome. Yeah, it's just, it be different. Like because you can really harm people. Like this is for entertainment purposes only. But like when your temper activates, it doesn't even, we're not even talking about like physical violence or anything like that, but they're just some trigger words that you can say to somebody that will send them, I'm hearing spiraling into orbit or whatever, just spiraling aimlessly into the cosmos. And that's essentially like spiraling into their head, like essentially putting them in mental prison, spiritual jail, whatever. And it may not be intentional. It just may be like maybe you reacted a certain way or whatever. Now when people are intentionally burdening you, you have every right to stand up for yourself. You have every right to be angry about mistreatment or whatever. But it's about being tempered. It's about being balanced. It's about knowing how to speak up. Because there's ways to speak up, and then there's ways to speak up that gets people's attention. It's just like if somebody is yelling and screaming at you, 9 times out of 10, you don't even hear what they're saying. You hear womp womp. Because I know I may be listening to what the person is saying, but I'm also like so pissed that it's hard to even concentrate. This is why I stay far away from candle magic and other spells, because I could have you pushing daisies. Right. For real. And look, that karma ain't gonna miss us either. Trust me. Like, we can catch it too, Spirit said. So, yeah. I don't want that type of karma. No, hell no. Because especially, what if it's another divine being and I'm doing work on somebody like that? My spirit team is like, you wouldn't even fathom the thought. And I wouldn't. That's why it's always confusing to me when spiritualists do harm and, do spell work to manipulate people in situations, because I understand spirituality and I have a reverential fear. I even have reverence for my own energy. Hell. All right, Spirit, you tried to bring that out twice. So Spirit wanted to bring this card out twice. It popped up, a group of cards popped up and I saw it and I was like, let me just keep shuffling. Came out again. So Spirit is definitely saying the ending of a cycle. Great job closing cycles. And specifically a cycle around romantic relationships. So now your prince or princess charming can come on in. Spirit said it's a brand new beginning. Dreadlocks may be significant. And Spirit said, oh yeah. You want to talk about some abundance in every area of your life? That is the sun That is life-giving. That is healing. That is I'm healed. That is my intuition never misses. And spirit doesn't use, I don't like using the word never. And for me to channel the word never, you need to really trust your intuition, okay? He said, girl, let's be honest. The things I would do fitting to spend pounds on you. So, oh yeah, homeboy, homegirl, they gonna have some coin. You gonna have your own coin, but they gonna also have some coin. Because your creativity is out of this world, spirit is saying. It's out of this world. Spirit is saying all of these represent a different gift. So we're talking about an artist. We're talking about a writer, a poet, a rapper, spoken word. We're talking about a healer. We're talking about a reader, a seer, an oracle. When you have this kind of sun energy that you're able to emanate to others for healing, that's where this abundance is coming from. It's coming from the overflow of your heart. You gotta really have a heart for people to go and do like healing events or go see people in the hospital or go, like it takes a lot of healing energy. And Spirit said, you have plenty. Which means the finances will be plentiful. And it's not all about money. Spirit said, it's about, I keep hearing the word recompense, but it's about retribution. Because the vulnerabilities of humanity have, especially surrounding finances, have been taken advantage of for long enough, Spirit said. She said, I ain't got a penny pinch. Well, okay. Anything else, Spirit? I'm hearing that song. What more can I say? That Jay-Z song. Yeah, Spirit said, you alchemized all that pain into your power. You see all that darkness going through the darkness to get to the light. Spirit said it was a battle. So I used to be like a super Christian at one time. I would watch a lot of people on TV and online, and Joyce Meyer was my girl at one point in time. And she wrote a book called Battlefield of the Mind. And so Spirit is saying, all those books that you got and you read, all of that personal development that you did, all of the writing affirmations, all of the speaking affirmations, all of the vision boards, all of the time spent in your prayer closet, either literally or figuratively, all of those constant repeated efforts is how you broke away from the matrix, essentially. Whew. Yeah, that's a lot. And let me tell you, it takes a lot of energy to heal people, heal other people especially. So when I tell you, it's gonna be like exhilarating, and it's going to be, just increase your belief that you are here for a purpose. But it's also going to require a lot of self-care, a lot of rest and rejuvenation. And trust and believe me, you're going to have plenty of money to go to whatever spa in whatever corner of the world that you would like to be in that month, to rest, rejuvenate, recuperate, get a spa scrub, get a massage, get a mud wrap. Just sit by the ocean and have food delivered to you. Like they're giving me that scene from Trading Places at the end when they all on the beach, and he's like, "Sir, what would you like for lunch? The crab or the, I don't know, lobster or something like that." And they looked at each other and they were like, "Why can't we have both?" You gonna be posted up somewhere chilling, like why are we limiting ourselves to just one when we have so many options? And that's really gonna be life. Like, why just have one when you can have, millions? And right, like I was saying, balance, temperance, because utilizing your gifts, it takes a lot of energy. Like, I'm literally hungry after I get off live because it like burns so much of my energy and expends so much of my energy, because when you're reading energy, essentially you are blending your energy. Well, I'm going to speak for myself, and I'm going to speak for the people who are watching this, because you're obviously watching this for a reason. Your energy, when you read energy, your energy blends with other energies, essentially. So like when we ring the bell and we're breaking that connection of energy. But like especially if I'm doing a personal reading, my energy is flowing in and out of that person. So as it's leaving me, it's picking up their energy and reading what needs to be read about them, and then it's coming back to me, and then I'm able to articulate what it is that I'm reading. And so when you're blending with energies like that, it can be exhausting. Because by the time somebody needs healing, it's probably pretty bad. It's probably been really bad off for a while. And when I tell you now, I don't believe in taking on people's entities. I'm not doing that. Fuck that. There was a lady that I had as a mentor at one time, and she would like do her lives and take people's energy and filter it through her body and all kinds of stuff. Like, she would just like pull the energy, and she said by the time she get off live, she's ready to throw up. Honey, what you doing? Oh, he playing with his toy. I'm thinking he choking. Um, but yeah, I'm not doing that. So you also like when you have that kind of healing energy, that's why you have heavy protection because it allows you to essentially push your healing energy out to people without having to like do a cleansing, if you will. Like they're showing me like the dialysis process where you're taking the bad from them, filtering it through you and doing whatever and giving it back to them. Nah, Spirit has not told me that I will ever have to do that. And I don't ever encourage anybody to do that because if you think about how intricate that process has to be for it to not affect you severely to the point where you just become that person energetically, there's a lot of dynamics in that. And I'm not shading this person I'm talking about, and I'm not saying this was her agenda, but there's people that do that so that they can kind of wear like a badge of honor, like, yes, I sit in my live and you can get healing and you can come, and I'll take your energy off of you and shit like that. Mm-mm. I'm not required to um spiritually die for anybody but myself. Sounds like some sort of spirit medicine or shamanic. Yeah. I mean, and but that's essentially like that's the process that happens when you're heavily protected because you have such powerful healing energy. So, like how I described me taking the energy, cleansing it out, giving it back to them, healed, and there being like a rotation through me is essentially when you're heavily protected already, is filtering through your energy, but it's not penetrating you, if that makes any sense. So, like the protection that you have, it also, what I'm hearing is it filters their energy before it even reaches your energy field. So you have, for people that have really big energy, really large healing energies, those beings are the beings who are collectives already in themselves. So when I say big energy, I mean you are already like your energy in itself is a whole collective. So that type of healing energy, like if one person or a group of people got healed by a collective of healing energy, that's super powerful. And so when you have energy like that and your protection team is there, they filter that energy, like it gets filtered through many different, like I'm hearing the term reverse osmosis. I think the reverse osmosis has like multiple processes it goes through or whatever, but spirit is basically comparing that cleansing of energy in your energy and sending it back to the person as like a reverse osmosis process. And so you know some of y'all may do that automatically, like you're not consciously saying, oh, we're going to gather for a healing crusade and this is what I'm going to do. No, like you just go through life doing that. And what spirit is saying is that because your energy with when you're around anyone, your energy is constantly doing that. Because like I said, you're heavily protected. You have a lot of angelic presence is what spirit is saying. So that energy is constantly flowing to you from angels. So it's coming from the world or other people that are around you, is getting filtered through, and I'm hearing an angelic procession. An angelic procession? Come on, y'all. I'm gonna need y'all to really get this. I already said I talked to a very small portion of the spiritual population. So if you came across my live, if you came across my page, you are a very high ranking spiritual being whose spirit is trying to wake the fuck up. Because you have a very big mission. You have a very huge purpose. And literally, the world is waiting for you. I know a lot of people on here and just in general say that, but seriously. And this isn't going to be for everybody. That's why I said I know that I only talk to a small niche of people, because Spirit only wants a small niche of people to pick up what I'm putting down. Spirit does not want random ass energies hearing the words that are coming out of my mouth and click off the live thinking that they're a divine high ranking high priest, high priestess energy, and they have an angelic procession surrounding you, cleansing the energy. Hey, you said very powerful but very strong. Yes. Felt, heard, seen, and believed. Yes. Seriously. Great things further than the eye can see. Absolutely. Absolutely. Spirit is like, the way you heal people is going to restore hope to the world. Spirit said, the way, I'm going to say that again for the people in the back. The way that you heal people because of how you have healed yourself is going to restore hope to the world. And the card says, hope is a beam of light in the darkness. But it's going to be way more than that. Because like what Spirit was saying earlier to me is that when you restore hope to the world, we're not talking about no churchy shit. We're not talking about waiting for a savior to return and save us. And we're not talking about somebody that's going to cover us in the blood when we get to the other side. This is for entertainment purposes only. No. And so Spirit is saying people really need to connect with the divinity within themselves, the light within themselves, instead of looking at some external energy or being and connecting to that, but not really connected. And Spirit is using the comparison of like the cross and the Ankh, where the Ankh has, you know, an unending circle at the top. It's the divine connection to the human, to humanity. So your divinity and your humanity, where they meet. Whereas the cross doesn't have that circle at the top. And what Spirit is talking to me about as well is that circle is called the eye of the needle. when you have gone through the eye of the needle, that means essentially you have gone places no other person has ever gone. And I mean, going to the depths of your soul, somebody else's soul in your family. I'm hearing the souls of everybody in your bloodline. And you still figured out how to close that cycle, how to heal. That's why the death card in this deck looks like the Ankh. Her dress looks like the Ankh. Because that is the closing of a cycle. That is the ending of a cycle. And then then we have the rebirth or the awakening. So like you literally have to and I don't know if I can say this on TikTok, but you know, I'm just gonna say it. You really have to crucify yourself. And the song said, "Me and God always in alignment." Thank you for the gifts. But yeah, that's powerful, y'all. And collaboration, I've been talking about having your soul tribe, having people that genuinely support you. There's no hidden agendas. There's no hate, no jealousy. Yeah, just understanding, or if you prefer, understanding. Oh, this card may be significant. Oh, the Goddess of Wands. Like I said, this is balanced energy. Those sunflowers are facing her because she is the sun. This is taming your darkness. This is that energy that I was talking about, that destructive energy. You have balanced your energy so much that you are able to tame your destructive energy. But like a cat, it's going to always be around. You may not see it sometimes. It may be hiding under the bed or something like that. But they always there. Can and will be activated as necessary. And this is the score by the Fugees. I said it's not about money, it's about retribution. And this is about settling the score. Spirit said, your authority is going to even surprise you. Oh boy. And Spirit is saying it's normal to be human. It's okay to still go through human things. If you get some jealousy or you know, have a negative thought about somebody or something like that, like, it's not about beating yourself up. So I don't know if there's somebody who's watching me that has been, you know, basically trying to be a spiritualist Christian is what Spirit is saying. Because the whole Christianity, like, I left the church for many reasons, but one of the main reasons was the condemnation. I just could not have, I was stressed out all the time, and I could not have a relationship with Spirit going to the church, being hounded about, no sex out of wedlock, no, just like so many rules and regulations. Y'all know the drill. But it was just, and I'm not the type of person that shies away from rules and regulations. I am rebellious, but I'm also reasonable. So like if there's something that is set in place for my protection, my elevation, my success, my I'm hearing mental and emotional well-being. So I had to make a decision at that point. It was like, am I going to continue to come to church and be stressed the hell out and live this unhappy, miserable life? Or am I just going to be free? And I promise you, when I set myself free from that condemnation, I didn't even have a desire to be out there having a hot girl summer. I ain't even have the desire anymore. It was like the mental pressure. And that shit be getting to the church admins. I don't know what you call them. But the main players in the church, if it's a mega church, the choir leaders, the choir, the people in upper level ministry, if you got the whole deacon system and all that, whatever it is. Yeah, no. It'd be too much. And so I, just broke free of that whole situation. And I just started going on a quest of my own. I dug deeper into Christianity. Like I said, when I stopped going to physical church, I was watching Joyce Meyer. I was watching David. Is it David Price? I think he passed away. He was in Cali. My favorite is that pastor from Chicago. I forgot what his name is. You said you've been in the house big time. Yeah, me too. Like, I really don't go anywhere, legitimately. Not that that's a good thing, because I do want to get out more. But, we're going to really have to determine whether it's time for us to just kind of be in hermit mode for a while we're, getting adjusted to the energy changes, the awakenings, the ascensions. Because I go through awakenings on a regular basis. Some I'm aware of, some I may not be aware of. But like when my dreams start getting very vivid, like movies, I know that I'm going through an awakening. And when I'm purging people out of my dreams, whoa. Like when you have recurring dreams with like childhood friends, so-called friends, it could be just organizations that you were a part of or whatever. When you keep having dreams about those people, you are purging those people from your energy. Right, the deacons and deaconesses, yeah. Or deaconesses, whatever it's called. Leaving the church has been the best decision ever, says the deacon and their director. Oh, and the choir director daughter. Oh my God. For real though. I hope I don't have anything in my nose. Ooh, y'all, please tell me if I have something in my nose. But Yeah, because you just really have to. And I was just talking about hermit mode. Look at here. Lord, your grandfather's a pastor. Yeah, Spirit said it's been a rough one. So just rest, rejuvenate. A lot of wisdom has been acquired. And I was actually going to do a video about this. But I was saying to myself earlier that I talk to my spirit guides a lot, especially when I'm in my car, and I was talking to them about the fact that I know that I have had to experience some extreme fuckery firsthand just so that I could be able to talk shit about it. Like, for instance, when I really get on my platform and my soapbox, I'm like my money is flowing. Like right now, I still gotta have a job. But when it comes time to when I don't need a job, I'm gonna be talking so much shit about so many different entities because I was talking to them about the whole education system. That is like the biggest damn lie that this system has told us, especially about going to college. I'm not saying that the on campus experience doesn't help you to grow and mature and be ready for, like, adult life, so to speak. It is, that experience is a bridge to being more independent. However, if you're going to school and you're getting a degree in something that is not going to require you to have a certificate or a license or anything like that, it's a crapshoot. You could be spending your money to not make any money. Because I promise you, those programs that have low pay scales and things like that, like all these daggone, I'm not gonna talk too much trash. But anyway, um, some of these places will not even pay you for your education. It would be better for you to have experience. And even if you have experience, they may only want to pay for like higher level positions. So, honey, look, I'm gonna be talking so much trash. Cause I have a bachelor's and master's in criminal justice. And when I tell you, like, I mean, if I had gone the federal route when I was straight out of college, I may have a different opinion because, you know, they have, other benefits. You retire earlier and you could be, 30, 40 years old and be retired with a full retirement and then go start the next half of your life. But yeah, like if you really, instead of going to college and getting a degree in something that is not even going to pay you to make ends meet for real, you would have been better off developing your spiritual gifts. I can definitely see like magic schools and like Hogwarts and stuff like that popping up everywhere, because if you spent that 4 years or 8 years or 6 years or whatever it took you to get those degrees and you were working with a mentor and somebody who could teach you how to utilize your gifts and what energy feels like, what your energy is in comparison to other people's, how to like navigate your gifts, Because really, nobody essentially can tell you how to use your gifts. They can give you tools to help your gifts be on display. But nobody can like just give you a gifting. You know what I'm saying? Like so everybody has clairs. Everybody can tap into their intuition and things like that. But there's levels to it. The high, like I said, the high priestess energy is going to be able to see from the highest timeline, which means he or she can see from way above multiple timelines, depth, width, length, all of that. Whereas somebody else is still, like the example I gave earlier was like the timeline. If you think about it as like a road, if you're walking on the road, you can only see but a certain distance. But the higher you go, I can't even talk tonight. The higher you go and the more you can see from a highest perspective, it's a totally different vantage point from anybody standing on the ground. So that's why I'm saying that the higher ranking beings who have always been high ranking beings with this powerful energy, y'all are waking. And I keep wiping my nose because I feel like I have a little bat in the cave. You know, I don't want anybody thinking anything else. Okay. But the higher you go, the more ability you have to help to elevate those people who are still walking on the ground. So like Spirit is saying, it gives you a bird's eye view. And then your energy is at such a high level of consciousness that is pretty much pure source. So if we're talking about you cycling pure source energy through your energy and healing other people through pure source energy, that's some powerful shit. Yeah, I've been talking about holding space for people, allowing people to heal through you. And we have Protection Guardian. It really doesn't get more apparent than this. She said, classy, bougie, ratchet. Yeah, being a savage doesn't have to have a negative connotation. Because when you have had to be a savage to navigate your life, but when that savage has trudged through all that darkness and breaks through to the light, I took a video and I'm gonna post it later. I took a video, like Arizona has these weird looking mushrooms. I thought it was something poisonous out there because one popped up in front of my place, and I told the daggone like the property guy, the maintenance property director, manager. I was like, there's something that might be like poisonous or something out there. I'm like, I don't know what that is. And he was like, oh, it's just a harmless mushroom. And I was like, that's a weird looking mushroom. It looks like the top of a Q-tip, essentially, and it's white. And so I thought it was, that's what I thought it was, a wasp nest. That's what I thought it was originally. But so there was one near my job, and when I tell you, when it came up through the earth, you could still see the cracked earth on the sides of it. And that's why I took a video of it, because that's just a demonstration of how the light breaks free through the dirt. Like normally when something grows up through the dirt, it like breaks the dirt up and it's maybe crumbly, or maybe you can't even tell that the dirt is broken. But literally, I mean, the dirt was hard, obviously. But to see, for Spirit to have that demonstration on my path, and that's how you get it out the mud, literally. And I think I had started saying earlier that I was going to make a video about the fact that, oh no, well, I did talk about it already. So I was saying that I had to personally go through a lot of things to be able to talk about it. You have to personally go through things in order to be relatable to people. And like Spirit is saying, whenever you heal that part of you and you have that type of healing energy, that like just being in the vicinity of people and their energy cycling through your energy is constantly healing them as they're just maybe in the elevator with you. My God, I'm getting so much information, y'all. But what I'm trying to say is that when you have that type of healing energy and you're pulling that energy from the highest levels of consciousness, which is essentially source, that is also going to trigger people. That's how you trigger people. And this is not, we're not talking about any kind of violence. This is for entertainment purposes. But when you do that to people, it's automatic, it's unconscious. You cannot stop it. It is just a constant thing. And so there's what Spirit is saying is that like some people don't want to let go of their darkness, of their delusion. Spirit is saying that when you go around people who have been praying for healing and who have also been taking action to discipline themselves, no matter how many times they failed, your energy can heal them. And your energy goes to like the parts of them that need healing. I talked about that the other night. It goes to the parts of the person that they have been praying about. Even if you're interacting with someone and they've been praying about their family, just that part of their bloodline being in your energy, because you have healed around parenthood and you have healed around not being ashamed about the lack of relationship between you and your children, if that's your situation. When you were down and out and felt like you were the worst parent ever because nobody ever really acknowledged what an amazing parent you were, because they were so jealous of what an amazing parent you were and how much better at parenting you were than them. You fought through all of that, and essentially what you did was you put yourself first. You finally, she said, no, I'm not the same me. I think I done changed shit. See something not the same. I used to walk into the room head down. That's what I've been talking about. I was talking about earlier, people putting you in environments and situations where you felt like you needed to dim your light. And with the type of energy that you have that can effectively heal people the way I'm talking about, that is a huge responsibility. And trust and believe me, your energy has always been your energy. But let me just make this clear. Spirit will not unlock your DNA and will not unlock certain gifts and will not unlock certain energy if you out here bullshit. It's not automatic to that degree. Spirit and the divine is in control of all of this. So you can play around with it if you want to, but either you won't ever experience it or it will be swiftly taken back. Because this type of energy is not released to any and everybody. Because when you have, and this is not to put a ton of pressure on people, because what I want people to understand and what Spirit wants people to understand is you're never going to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect to be pure-hearted. What Spirit focuses on is what are your intentions? What are your intentions for yourself and others? If your intentions are pure, you can have slip ups, you can lose your temper, you can say something you didn't mean to say, you can sabotage a relationship, you can do a lot of things and still be pure-hearted. Because if you weren't human, if you didn't have the human experience, you would not be relatable to people. And people, when I tell you, one of the most popular programs for people being released from custody is a peer support program. Peer support. Meaning that person done been down and through the trenches just like you, maybe not in the same exact manner, but enough to be able to help you reintegrate based on what they did to help themselves reintegrate. I mean, it also has to do with, the company they work for, the program they work for, whatever, and the information, the local resources and all that stuff. But when you're coming out of a situation like that, you want to be around somebody who can say to you, look, I had to leave jail in a bunny suit 5 years ago because I was homeless and didn't have any clothes going in. Like, they were tattered and just, full of dirt. And then I ended up having to leave with a bunny suit, meaning no clothes, no nothing to your name. And so when you get it out the mud like that, when you're able to say that you had absolutely nothing, but you did what you had to do in order to get what you needed to get done. And let me tell you something. When you are in need of the help of others, and especially when you're going to these government agencies where people are disgruntled, they're not customer friendly, And they create intentional barriers for people by leaving out information or just not providing all the information that the person could possibly use. Those are the kinds of barriers that teach you how to manage your anger. It teaches you how to problem solve. It teaches you how to communicate with people. I'm hearing the title Win Friends and Influence People. I promise you, if when you need the help of others, if you don't learn how to manage your emotions and your temper and learn how to talk to people and not have a damn attitude and not be screaming at people because you didn't get your services or whatever fast enough or whatever the case is, if you don't know how to talk to people, you are going to remain in that predicament and possibly back in lockup. Either that or you just don't want to ask for help and you being hard-headed or whatever. And it doesn't even have to be, that extreme of a situation. It could just be you know that you have a family member that can fully help you and has always said to you, if you ever need anything, whether it's money or anything else, a lot of times people just need you to ask. They need you to talk to them about it because they don't want to just say, well, here's some money, because some people get offended. I would say that person's a damn fool. Somebody hands you a check and you like, no, because I'm just going to do it on my own. Somebody hands you $1 million check and you gonna refuse it? Talk about, no, because I can get him on my own. I don't need nobody. Girl, stop. This made me think of A Rose in the Concrete, right, by Tupac. Yes. Whew. Spirit is saying, embrace the energy of peace now. Go on and get in hermit mode. Because in a minute, it's going to be real fast paced. Oh my God. I put my right hand to God. Love you, neighborhood nip. I was right down the street from his shop when he got shot. All right, so we have Stargazer. So I already done told y'all not from him. You got to be a star being to be able to access all the timelines and energies and cosmic entities, I'm hearing. Enjoy growth and reap the rewards. What have I been talking about, y'all? I said when you do the work, and she has a green top on and there's green all on this card. When you do the work, when you seriously do the work, there are so many rewards to reap. And like I said, when you are pure-hearted, when you have pure intentions for people and you want to see people win, and I feel like Spirit wants y'all to know that doesn't mean you can't talk shit about people to your spirit team. Because let me tell you something. There's a difference between being gossipy, backbiting, jealous, trying to assassinate people's character and stuff like that, and venting to your spirit team. I make it a point not to vent to my sister who I talk to every week, and I talk, I text, and we may talk during the week. We mostly talk on the weekends, but we may talk during the week. We text every day. I purposely do not have certain conversations with her because I don't want what I'm saying to be interpreted as being gossipy or, hateful or whatever. And my spirit team knows what my intentions are. Look, they know my heart. They know what my intentions are for talking about it. Because when you talk about it and you process through it, sometimes part of processing through something is talking shit about the person. I mean, point blank, period. I always say, and they know this, but I always say, now look, what I'm about to say, I'm not wishing harm on this person. I'm not wishing ill on this person. I want the best for this person. But that person is going to choke when they realize who I am and who they missed out on being with. I mean, now we're not talking about, then let me just clarify, we're not talking about violence or death or anything like that, unaliving. We're just talking about like a little okay. But we're talking about jaws hitting the floor. Oh yeah. The people that played with you, the people that did not do what they should have done, even though you were pouring out your love, Spirit said, they are going to be devastated. And all those people that talked reckless to you, had an attitude, had a nasty attitude with you for no reason because you were being civil and you weren't trying to like be slick, manipulative, or passive aggressive or anything like that. Your tone was level, you were calm, you were just direct and straight to the point. You even apologize to people who are rude and nasty to you. But Spirit is like, that's cool. But baby, when they find out who you are and the amount of healing power that you have, and the mere fact that if they had just simply been nice to you, they would have had the full benefit of your love, your healing, and your protection. Come on now. We already had the protection guardian come out. We already said what a high-ranking star being you are. Come on now. This is major. This is extremely major. Because what Spirit will do too is Spirit will put you in a place long enough to give people the opportunity to apologize to you and do differently by you. Not on no fake hidden agenda, I'm trying to be nice to you because, XYZ, because I'm trying to wiggle my way out of some other shit. No, we talk about like genuine, yo, I apologize. I have had some mental health problems and I am getting help. When somebody humbles themselves enough to come to you and apologize, and on top of that, admit that they have some issues, that means they have done a tremendous amount of work to tame their ego. I don't like to use the word like ego death because it's not going anywhere. Your ego is here to stay. But you can definitely do things that will like put your ego under submission is what I'm hearing. And like I said, when you apologize to people, like say you're at the grocery store and the lady behind you is just going off on you, and like, oh my God, like it's taking so long. Why is like I gotta go, doing all of that, talking to you but not talking to you. And your blood is boiling, mind you, because you're like, please, Lord, please don't let me pop off on this lady because I know if I say something right now, it's going to be a full-on fight in this line. But if spirit has you turn to them and say, you know what? I apologize, sis. Come on and come in front of me. You have less than I have. People are not used to that type of behavior. Because the darkness in me would be like, motherfucker, since you want to talk so much shit, now I'm going to go even slower, Hope. But see, I use logic instead of emotion now. That's where the balance and the temperance comes from. That's where the anger management comes from. And I'm by no means saying to be bitch made out here, pardon my French, and just let people run over you with reckless abandon. 1000% hell no. I am absolutely 100% on team boundaries and team speak up for yourself. But sometimes when you are put in a precarious situation like that where your blood is boiling and you have a choice, either snatch this bitch wig off and have a whole assault charge, or let her know, bitch, I know that you're talking to me but not talking to me. You want me to acknowledge you, but you don't really want me to acknowledge you. But I'm going to do you one even better. I'm going to let you go in front of me because that does two things for me. That gets you the fuck away from me even faster. Then I get to watch you get your card declined after talking all that shit. So now I'm sniggling with my spirit team in the car because you had to leave your steamed crab legs and Alizé at the damn register. And her foolish self was buying Alizé and crab legs for some man. Why? It's not his birthday. This the same chick that'll have a freeloaded dude at the house, laid up playing video games, no job. And it's like, snuggles up to you like, babe, don't you want some crab legs? Knowing good and well he don't have near $1. But because homegirl want to post on the gram that her and her man got crab legs at Alizé, And of course, this is like a wild analogy because I feel like I'm reading somebody's energy right now. But I'm just saying, like, I'm trying to say it without, you know, offending anybody, I guess. I don't know what I'm trying to say. But yeah. And I'm not trying to be judgmental against whatever relationship people want to be in. But it just says a lot about the people involved if that's what you're settling for. Because, first of all, yes, things happen, cars get declined, something may be going on with the bank, it's maybe, it could be a whole host of things. But 9 times out of 10, that person was trying to stretch themselves for someone giving them unrequited love. You out here with a Megan. Now I'm talking to somebody specific. You out here with a Megan Thee Stallion body. Whose face? Pick a face. I don't know. Iman. You out here looking like Iman. Or somebody from the Arab Emirates or some exotic. I don't know. You out here looking like a whole quarter piece. And you're intelligent, you have a degree or you have your license in something. I'm hearing real estate license. So you got all this stuff going for you, but you letting this dude, I was about to say homeboy, letting this dude take advantage of you. No. Absolutely not. The crazy thing is some of them be knowing and still be mishandling us. Exactly. Okay, have a good night, Alana. You said I be going off on my vent sessions. And then it'd be the humiliation for me, and I'd be dead as fuck in the line. I mean, look, I've experienced my car declining and all that stuff. There was a time in my life when I literally had $40 a week to feed me and 3 kids, and I would go to Aldi. Aldi was my friend between Aldi and couponing. I would go to Aldi and I would just be praying that my bill was under what I had in my account. Like, it was so bad that I didn't even want to look at my account. I mean, I know that's a horrible thing to do because, even if times are hard, you still have to manage what you have. And so I'm hearing manage and be thankful for what you have. But I used to be praying sometimes, like, please don't decline. Buying steak and potatoes for him, but the kids eating hot dogs. Just horrible. Horrible. Eating Franks and beans. Look, I've been there, and we'll go to the 5 for $25 store real quick. Exactly. I just found out they have like a discount grocer here. I was like, I will be checking that out as long as it's not expired. I'm gonna check it out. And I love Aldi though. I'm gonna need Aldi to pay me if they want me to really advertise. But I will forever be a fan of Aldi for sure. And in North Carolina, they have this place called Lidl, which is like Aldi, and I think there's one other place. All right. Yeah, exactly. Look who came to see y'all. You gonna say hi? You gonna say hi? He said no. Yeah, you love Alden. No, I was saying Alden got me through some rough times. Got me through a rough patch. For real. All right, y'all. I'm about to get off of here. Thank you all for hanging out with me. Have a good night. It's almost time for cheese calendar. Oh, really? Good night, Rise Roots. I thought you would have been asleep already. All right, y'all. Good night.